everyone, it has been for a while since I made my last video, and the thing is that I mentioned that exactly 2 years ago I opened my Interactive Brokers account, and in this video I want to make the summary of the results. How did this account perform since it was set up 2 years ago in November 2022. I remember my thoughts at that time. This was a very tough year after Russia started the war, invading Ukraine, and a lot of macroeconomic tensions were, and actually still on. And there is a very popular opinion that when you see the blood on the street, is a time to buy. So when the fear greed index is leaning towards fear, and it was extreme fear at that time, it's a time to invest, because during this fear period, a lot of people, let's say not strong hands, they selling, dumping the prices of everything. So it was a good time to set up an account and enter into position. However, as I showed you in my previous video, and if you haven't seen them, I would suggest you to subscribe to my channel. You'll get a lot of useful information about finance. So let's look at the analytics of the account. So this is my Interactive Broker account. If you don't have one and you considering setting one, I would suggest you to use my referral link, which will be in description to this video. And following my channel, you'll see a lot of useful tips about how to use the brokerage account and ideas about the possible investment options, which I'm personally using. So to look back and see how the account performed during the last 2 years, let's go into performance and reports and portfolio analyst. This is the best place. This is actually something I'm checking literally every day for my account. So let's go into key statistics first. So here you can see the roll forward of the balance of my portfolio. So at the beginning I had 0 in my account. So November 2022 I started to invest, like first $5,000 I invested that time. Ending balance is 230,000. Obviously this is not all the profit I got during these 2 years. So I deposited $187,000 of my money into this account. So you can see that the difference between 230,000, the ending balance of all the investments in my account, and the total amount of deposits I made, I didn't do any withdrawals at all. 187 is $43,000. This is the income I got from using this account in 2 years. $42,500. So it comprises the unrealized gain on all of my investments, which is $39,000. The dividends I got, this is already after withholding tax of 30%. The dividends I got is $3,000, almost $3,500, and interest on my bonds $1,000. Other, I see the fees, which is about $200 in 2 years. This is actually pretty low. Here is how my balance grew in time. Let's check here to show all rows, and this is a very interesting chart. It shows the yield, the performance of my portfolio month by month. The table on left shows every month's performance. For example, you see that I opened account in November 2022, and in November my income, unrealized gain on the investments I made at the time, was 3.18%. The next month I got the loss of -2%. The table on right shows the same but cumulative. You can see that since November 2022 until October 2024, my yield is 34%, which means that my investment, the deposits I made $187,000, they made me 34% during these 2 years. But the thing is that 34%, in my opinion, in 2 years, taking into account that I'm investing purely into ETFs, so this is the index funds, not in a particular stocks. The major investments are index investments, and you can check on my account the video about ETF if you want to know more about what ETF is. But this is index fund, so it's pretty diversified, and in my opinion, these 2 years they were excellent. 34% or 42.5 thousand US dollars in 2 years. Yeah, this is a pretty impressive results, I would say. Taking into account again that this is investment into index funds, they pretty low risk inherently because they comprise numerous of shares. Like VTI comprises 2,000 biggest US companies, and if one particular company doesn't perform well, it affects the index very slightly because the share of this company in index is small. So this is basically very diversified investment. So it's one of the lowest risk investments comparing to investing into individual stocks, for example, let's say like that. You can see that during these 2 years, this is the monthly performance of my portfolio. The best month was November 2023. I remember indeed. Imagine almost 10% in 1 month on index funds investments. Yeah, it was crazy. And the worst month was just 2 months before that, minus 4.54% in 1 month. The interesting thing I read about investing that you should not be scared to be in a position like having investment when the market is red, when the market goes down. You probably better should be scared that you are not in a position when the market goes up. It means you miss an opportunity. Because of course, the investment even into index funds like S&P 500 fund, let's say, yes, you see this drops, these red candles, pretty significant candles. For my portfolio, it was more than 4% in September 2023, right? Losing 4% on a portfolio about $200,000. It looks pretty scary, I would say. It's like almost $8,000 you see like minus on your account during 1 month. But the truth is that the pullbacks, they can be scary, right? But eventually the market goes up, and there are plenty of reasons why it is happening. But I would suggest you that don't let a huge amount of money to sit in your account, but start investing. Let's dig deeper into holdings. In a portfolio analyst, you have a second tab called holdings. It shows the movement of my portfolio, right? So you can see that in November I invested first like 17,000. Yeah, the first investment was pretty big, and then I started to deposit like you can see 12,000, then 4,000, 5,000, less and less. And my last deposit was in May 2024. So I'm not topping up my investment account with interactive brokers. I'm just looking how its fair value changes over time. You can see that here is how my balance grew to 230,000 US dollars. The best return was 9.21%, as we looked with you in November 2024. And the worst, actually, it shows 3.43% in April 2024 of this year, and the period it shows 34.25% I made unrealized income. Okay, partial of that is realized, like dividends and interests, but most of them is unrealized gain. And you can see that I deposited 187, almost 0.5 thousand US dollars, and currently my balance is 230,000. I should be honest with you that I'm pretty satisfied with the performance. I didn't expect that. My expectations and my assessment while I was doing that investment is to have around 10% per year. I do not say that, so taking into account that my projection was to have 10% over like 10 or 15 years at least period of time. I'm not excluding that the next couple of years could be with a minus, so it will bring my average annual income to 10%. So now in 2 years, 34%. This is pretty impressive. I would say, yeah, I'm very happy with that. No, I think it's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.